This is a wonderful and I think very, very important story that we're hearing at this point in our life together as St. Paul's. And there are two huge stories in this passage. There's the huge story at the beginning, which is how John has a spiritual experience where he recognizes who Jesus is. And Jesus is revealed to him as the one that they were waiting for, as the Messiah. And he makes that perfectly clear in what he says about Jesus and how he testifies about Jesus. That's the big story one. And then there's the second part of the story that we heard, which has to do with two disciples, Andrew and another disciple, following Jesus. And I love John's Gospel because it's so cinematographic. I mean, it's just like storyboards laid out. And you can just see the action happening. There's John. He's just said all these wonderful things about Jesus. And the two disciples are listening to him, and they're looking with new eyes in some awe at this person, Jesus, who is walking away. And rather than running up to him, they hang back and they follow at a bit of a distance. So you can sort of see them kind of dogging his trail. So what does Jesus do? Does he keep walking? No. He turns toward them. God will always turn towards us. Even if we're hanging back, dogging, afraid to approach, in awe, too many questions, don't want to get rejected again, we can walk behind Jesus, approach, afraid to approach, and God will always stop and turn towards us at some moment. And what does Jesus say? He says, "What do you want?" What do you want? It's a very good question. What do you think they want? I mean, in that time, Jesus could have been tested. He didn't know who they were. Were they zealots? Did they want Jesus to be that Che Guevara who was going to overturn the system? Were they Pharisees who wanted to debate the law with him? Were they Sadducees who just wanted to piggyback on this power that he was going to come into and be his entourage, be with him and bask in that kind of glory? What do you want? And they said, "We want to know where you are staying." That's a wonderful code for, actually, we just want to hang out with you. We want to go and have a coffee with you. We want to get to know you better. Maybe we don't know what we want yet. Maybe we just want to see where it goes, where the relationship goes. And Jesus says, "Come and follow me." In the rabbinic record, when disciples asked questions of the rabbis, they would often say this to them. They wouldn't answer the question. They would just say, "Oh, come on, let's talk about it." It's going to take some time to figure out the answers together. It's going to take time to figure out what the right questions are. But let's hang around. Let's hang out with each other, and let's get to know each other better. Let's develop that relationship. So Jesus invited them to become his disciples, at least to test the waters. And then something really interesting happens, because Andrew realizes that this is going to be a great thing. This is going to be a really good thing. And he must have a great relationship with his brother, because he doesn't want to just have all this fun by himself. He doesn't want to get to know this person and develop this wonderful relationship and have all this revealed to him. He wants his brother to share. So he goes and he gets his brother and he says, I found him. We found the one. Come on. And he brings his brother to Jesus. And Jesus sees the potential in this rough fisherman who is going to always, no filters. You know, this is the ultimate no filter guy. But in spite of all of his limitations, Jesus also sees that there's a solidness, there's a steadfastness about this person. And he says, you know, not right now, but one day you will be called the Rock. And I'm not talking about the Rock. Isn't this a model? Is this a model of where we could be at, where we are at? In various ways, we're in different places on that journey. Maybe we're hanging back. Maybe we're still asking the question, and trying to answer that question, what do you want? What is it about being here, trying to be in relationship with Jesus, that is life-giving? Maybe there's other reasons. I'd like to ask Noel just to stop the camera for a minute, so that nobody has to feel like they're going to be...
So, I stopped recording as Rick requested, while people talked about why they come to St. Paul's. I missed the first few seconds of when Rick started talking again, but listen in for the end of the homily.
Blessing in the room that there was people that could answer that question right away. So, if you can talk to somebody here about why you're here, then maybe like Andrew, you could share some of that enthusiasm with somebody else who maybe needs to know Jesus. Somebody maybe who has something in their life that's burdening them, and you have a suspicion that somehow or other, if they only had a relationship with God, or they had a community like this to explore their potential for a relationship with God, then you would be able to share a little bit of the buzz that you were able to share today with somebody you were comfortable with. And so we have a pattern here of Christian discipleship. Following Jesus, understanding and growing in our faith, and then sharing. Sharing the enthusiasm, sharing the life, sharing the love.